Most SaaS products require some upfront work to make an implementation successful. For us, that new work or the work that needed to be done was getting content from Word documents, PowerPoint slides, other systems into Proposify. Initially, we were doing this work for free for our larger customers because it had to be done to make them successful. Along the way, we realized that we could start charging for this work.
So before we had professional services, we actually had a really big opportunity come through the door. And one of the prerequisites is that they wanted us to do some template design for them. And so I had sort of ensured them along the way that although it wasn't something we had formally, we would sort of make it happen for them. Unfortunately, we had to come back and let them know that we couldn't fulfill those professional services that I said we could. And so they ended up walking away. And so we had to lose a pretty big logo and opportunity at that time because we didn't have those services. And then fast forward probably 3 years, that company actually came back around and is now one of our biggest customers. And we sold a ton of professional services alongside that annual subscription. So good success story in the end, but it definitely was a heartbreaker at the time where you felt like with a little bit more guidance or a little bit more support, there were deals that were right on the doorstep for us. And then we had to kind of turn away from them because we couldn't support them.
Almost always there's going to be a basket of tasks that have to be done, and your product can't innovate or add a feature to grab them. If we go back to our PDF conversion example, we could not build a tool. We tried through hackathons and other things to build something that would ingest PDFs or Word documents and convert them into Proposify files. We tried, we couldn't make it happen. So we said, it. We'll hire a team of designers and we'll do this ourselves. If the designers work at Proposify, they're going to know the tool better than anyone in the world. They're probably going to be able to take documents and even make them better when they're put into Proposify. So that was our first sort of light bulb moment.
When I joined Proposify roughly 2 years ago, at the time our professional services were just the one. We were offering PDF conversions, whereas we want to be able to provide custom work, custom designs to our clients as well.
We started to identify new opportunities where we would actually take on the design work for customers and make changes to their brand. We've had large Fortune 500 companies ask us to help them launch new products in new markets using our designs because they are so effective.
So when we first introduced professional services, it was very much an optional item for customers. Long story short, what would happen is that the folks that didn't take us up on professional services had a hard time onboarding, and it was because they just didn't know how to set up the template properly so that it was scalable for their team. So we actually had a lot of roadblocks for people who would take us up on the professional services. And once we flipped the switch and said, hey, you don't really have the option not to do a service. There's a couple different services you can take and you have to do one so that we can make sure that you get set up correctly. It really changed the whole trajectory of the onboarding process and the ability to get people to value quickly. Because there was success, they wanted more of that, and they wanted to bring more teams on, more departments on. They wanted to give us referrals, all that good stuff.
Our design team used to be a cost center. We would do work, but we wouldn't be paid. We wouldn't get paid for it. Now we're getting paid for every hour of work that designers on our team provide. The next step for us was turning our support team, who was again a historical call center, and they are for most businesses, into a revenue driving business unit. So now our support team is delivering training, account optimizations, template optimizations, services that again, we would typically provide for free, but these are services that customers are willing and really want to pay for because they put a high value on them and they want to buy them repeatedly. So we've moved from cost center to revenue driver. The next iteration for us is moving from a one-time fee to a recurring service model because we really believe that our team is an extension of our customers' team, and so far they've been willing to pay for it, and it's been wildly successful for our larger accounts.
When a new designer joins the professional services design team, we really look for someone who is very adaptable. They have to be able to come in and problem solve and be able to come up with solutions specific to our clients. So we not only want them to be a really amazing layout designer, but they also have to be able to take a huge list of requests from all of our clients and implement those into a functional design within our software.
Typically, the best place to look for professional services you want to launch is implementation. So when customers have bought your software and they're running through an implementation, what do your most successful customers do that others don't? So forecasting professional service revenue is a bit of a dance. So you've got kind of two things to consider. You have how many resources do I have to deliver the services that we're selling, and then how many services do I anticipate selling that I need to fulfill? So the first thing that we did is we did a time study on the different services that we were selling to figure out, for every custom template that a designer on our team delivers, how many hours of work does that typically take? And we ran that down for all of the services that we sold. And then on the forecasting side of things, we looked at, of all the deals that we're selling, what percentage of each deal is professional services? So that gives you a total revenue amount on one side, a delivery model on the other where you can deliver, X amount of dollars per hour. And then we modeled that using Excel, I guess Google Sheets, shout out to Google Sheets. And what we have is a model that says we're going to bring in this amount of work. We've got this many designers to deliver it. And at the bottom line, we have just a variance number. So when we start to get up to a point where we have 1 or 2 hours of variance in a given month, we know that we need to hire because people get sick, people take vacation. So that's how we think about forecasting and fulfilling the services on our side. And it's something that I'd encourage every business to do.
You can help the channel make more content by liking and subscribing to Proposify on YouTube. Leave a comment and let us know what you'd like to see in a future episode.